Nebraska farmers head to Taiwan to sign a new trade deal. Just ahead here tonight on NTV's Grow, we fill you in at the global forces at play, especially in the soybean markets, plus what cattlemen are saying about the audit of the brand committee, and a teen from Hildreth achieving his dreams. We'll meet the Farm Youth of the Month. It's time to grow. Thank you for joining us. The governor has announced that he wants to grow Nebraska, and part of that is expanding exports worldwide in a global arena. And just recently, there was a trade deal done with Taiwan, where the country will buy $405 million worth of Nebraska crops and meat. And Governor Ricketts says improving the state's exporting is necessary for Nebraska's ag industry.
Our ag receipts typically go for about $7.2 billion, or about 27% of our overall receipts in agriculture. That's how much we export. And it's important that we continue to develop markets for our commodities and our value-added food products to be able to get out overseas.
On August 14th, the head of the Nebraska Department of Agriculture will head to Taiwan with a team to sign the trade deal. It goes to show with what happens in China and Brazil does impact what's going on with our farmers here in Nebraska. Here's NTV's Grow co-host Steve White.
Things are going to be very slim out on the farm.
In a tough year, Greg Grieving didn't have to go far for expert advice as the Chapman farmer plays host to Soybean Management Field Day.
Event like this to where you can have a lot of people that know a lot of things about a lot of different things in one spot.
What a more frustrating situation.
The ongoing slump in commodity prices is a hot topic.
There's enough grain out there to kind of keep a top on the market for now, but there's not so much out there that we can't see better prices down the road.
And what farmers in central Nebraska do is just one piece of supply and demand worldwide.
More and more global marketplace. We were talking to them about what impact world production in South America is having, and also the big importance of the Chinese soybean demand.
Closer to home, the soybean checkoff collects 0.5% from every bushel sold and uses the money to try to build demand and create new markets. This farm is part of that, one of the first to grow high oleic soybeans in Nebraska that produce a healthier cooking oil that the food service industry is clamoring for.
This spring during Lent with fish fries, and everybody said that really was very good. They want more of it.
It could help soybeans regain market share that's been lost and serves as a bright spot when the outlook is otherwise dim. As for current conditions, experts say don't panic. Greg Grieving says farmers are doing what they can to squeeze out a profit.
Spend as little and try to make as much.
We, of course, will have more with our market analyst later on here in the show, so stay with us for that. Meanwhile, now the value of farmland has dropped. That's farmland here in Nebraska, according to a new USDA report showing farm real estate in Nebraska averaged $2,900 an acre, down $100 an acre, or a 3% decline. Irrigated cropland averaged $6,500 an acre. In terms of cash rent, landlords are getting paid less. Irrigated cropland rent averaged $243 an acre, slight dip from the year before. Meanwhile, rural communities are pretty optimistic about what's going on now and even into the future. Results of the 2016 Nebraska Rural Poll are out. Despite slumping farm markets, more than half of those who responded say they are better off now than 5 years ago. Only 16% said they were worse off. UNL poll also finds half of people believe they will be better off in 10 years. Rural Nebraskans continue to be satisfied with family, friends, and quality of life. Financial security is a concern. A major meatpacking plant gets the go-ahead for a composting test, and they say there will be no odor. The environmental manager at JBS says they currently haul waste to the landfill. They say a better option would be to compost it and apply it to farm fields where it can build soil. They asked Hall County Board for permission to do a 90-day trial. They will take 3 different forms of waste from the plant. Compost at the former Cornhusker ammunition plant.
We're requesting to try to mix these 3 products. We're going to do it on site, coming out of 3 separate processes, combine them all, take them out to some property on the ordnance plant, put them into nice windrows, and then monitor them again.
JBS did a similar trial by Lockland Country Club near Hastings with no complaints. Company officials say they will study the compost for insects, moisture, odor, and nutrient value. Board members unanimously supported the trial run. Almost 40% of Nebraska counties are now considered livestock friendly. The most recent one just north of Omaha. It's Burt County. Governor Pete Ricketts said the county has a rich history in ag, with the livestock industry generated millions of dollars in income for local farm and ranch families. The announcement is expected to have an impact on corn and soybean demand in the area. And the governor will be looking for a new executive director for the brand committee. That executive director resigned after a report from the state auditor questioning management practices, also finding bookkeeping problems like uncashed checks and money not turned over to state accounts. Sean Harvey won't be the director, but will continue to work for the committee under a different title. Check out our YouTube channel for the complete interview with the state auditor. Meanwhile, Nebraska Cattlemen Organization applauds efforts to correct problems with the brand committee. Prior to the inception of the brand committee as an independent state agency, the predecessor to Nebraska Cattlemen actually ran the program, and the organization maintains a keen interest. Cattlemen say brand committee members are improving accountability and are making large-scale changes, but that takes time. Many of you livestock producers are okay with turning out a bull to get the job done. Well, artificial insemination, there are a few benefits to it, and the American Angus Association fills you in with more right now.
Turning out a bull is easier than using artificial insemination. But is it better? A field expert says not if you're counting the many benefits of AI for beef cattle.
It allows you to improve the reproductive efficiency of your cow herd because we shorten your calving interval, we get more of those cows to calve in the first 21 days. So it can be used as a risk management tool to remove some of the risk that you would find with unproven bulls. And then I think the other advantage is that it really allows you to select genetics that are going to fit your marketing environment that you're maybe trying to market those cattle, as well as your feed environment.
The large variety of genetics available with AI shouldn't intimidate producers. One strategy is to narrow choices by selecting for desired EPDs, or expected progeny differences, or other traits.
That could be fleshing ability, udder quality, maybe improving feet, things like that. So there's a wide range of discussions that we have with our producers in terms of selecting bulls. The fewer bulls you use, the more uniformity you're going to have. And particularly if you're trying to improve certain traits, we may want to really target a narrow group of bulls that are going to allow you to move forward for things like heifer pregnancy or marbling or something specific you're trying to improve.
Marshall also says proven AI sires can foster rapid improvement without sacrificing their herd's maternal instincts.
We can make those genetics available to you at a really very reasonable cost that's competitive with the bull, and yet because they are so genetically balanced and really good across the board, they're going to allow you to make genetic improvement in a lot of ways, including in product merit.
I'm Bob Cervera.
A grant helps an FFA program purchase a new drone. Representatives from Farm Credit Services of America office in Grand Island recently presented a check to the Donovan Trumbull Agricultural Education Program. The check is from the Working Here Fund grant program. The school will purchase a drone and accessories to expand the plant and animal sciences class. Some of the uses for the drone are to evaluate crop conditions at a field and check the health of cattle in a feedlot. The advisor says precision ag is important, and this helps kids connect with that. Many of you may be getting ready to showcase what you do in your operation at the State Fair. In the meantime, a lot of volunteers are getting together and learning what they can do and what changes might be on the way. About 100 people came for the last of 3 meetings for the fair, officials covering a variety of topics, including new electronic signage and procedures and changes to new and returning acts. Officials say there's a broad variety throughout. Seasoned volunteers know how the fair works, while new ones bring in fresh ideas. And with only 8 full-time positions, officials say the fair wouldn't be possible without any of them.
I thought it would be interesting, and they need volunteers, and it changes every year. They keep it interesting. so we keep coming back.
We have 3 different shifts a day with about 100 different areas on the fairground with multiple people at each one. So it's extremely crucial to have very many or a lot of volunteers here because they are the workforce. They are the faces people see when they come to the fair, and they're what makes the fair successful.
There's still room for more volunteers and no deadline to sign up. Nebraska State Fair runs through August 26th to September 5th, so mark those calendars. From a toy farm to a real farm, and now the dream to be an auctioneer. Meet the Farm Youth of the Month coming up later in the show. And next we take a look at those markets and what's going on. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Tennyson Williams, and I'm here to present you an ag fact. In Nebraska, there are over 1.5 billion bushels of corn sold in Nebraska each year. Also, there are over 300 million bushels of soybeans sold. As you can see, ag is very important to Nebraska's economy.